The June balance changes are live, and there were a lot of units that were buffed. Today, I'm going to show you guys the 3 best armies that received buffs with this update, so let's dive in. At number 3, we've got the new and improved Dragon Rider army. Each of these Dragon Riders have an additional 300 hit points, which is a lot. Let's go ahead and show you guys a replay for how to use this attack. Typically with this attack, I like to use my giant arrow to snipe air sweepers over air defenses, but if you can get both, that is great. I like to use the Royal Champion to deal with as many anti-air type things as possible. So there's 2 air defenses here at the top that I know she can get. My queen will get that one there at the left, and then I only have to worry about 1 air defense on the right-hand side of the base on the back. I'm going to just try and keep my Royal Champion alive as much as possible, but I do like to save 1 invisibility spell sometimes if I don't think I'm going to get insane value with the Royal Champion for either the Minion Prince or the Queen or something else. Here I know my Queen's going to die anyway. She's basically there to just kind of help set a funnel as well as snipe the sweepers, and then her job is done. And then after I'm getting towards the end of this Royal Champion charge, I'm going to deploy the Dragon Riders at kind of the easiest entry point of this base. I put them on the left here so that the Rage Tower doesn't have time to activate again. We'll put a couple of Coco Loons down first, and then we'll put the rest of the Dragon Riders, the Minion Prince, the Siege, the Balloon. And then if you need to blip the Town Hall, you definitely can, but these things just absolutely fly through the base. I've got the Healing Tome and Eternal Tome on here because I really like the synergy between the Ice Block spell and the Healing Tome. After the Eternal Tome wears off, I have an additional 12 seconds that I can use the Ice Block spell to kind of get another Eternal Tome, so to speak. So they'll get frozen up right here and continuously be healed up by the Healing Tome of the Warden. So you get a lot of healing and benefit from this. This will keep them tanky and alive for a little while. And then I'll use my Minion Prince ability when he's pointing in a decent direction. We've got the Angry Jelly on him with the Henchman Puppet and the Dark Orb. And I've got a Poison as well as some Headhunters to help deal with the heroes and the Clan Castle, because that is the #1 enemy to the Dragon Riders, right? They don't target any of those things, so you have to have them here, because you can see the Minion Prince, once the Angry Jelly wears off, will not really follow them very well, so you kind of have to have the Headhunters and the Poison for the CC and stuff. And Furnace CCs are so common right now that you almost have to have a Poison into any army. But that's going to do it for army number 3. You can see you can absolutely just crush bases. We've got like 6 Dragon Riders alive left, it still looks like, as well as 2 full health heroes almost, and some other extra cleanup troops. And we had about a minute left at the end of this attack. So let's go to attack number 2. For attack number 2, we've got the new and improved Super Hogs that have an additional 200 hit points each. Let's go ahead and show you how to do this attack. All right, so there are a bunch of ways that you can do this twin hog attack. I guess it's barely a twin hog attack. We've got 1 regular hog, but the best version of it, I think you're going to start out with a Royal Champion charge to make the funnel for your Sui very easy. The Sui is going to consist of your King, Queen, E-Titan, Ice Golem, some Yetis, and then you definitely want to get the Clan Castle with your Sui. That's definitely priority number 1, because the Hogs don't really deal with that very well. And then if you get Ice Golems and your Royal Champion is stuck on them forever, it really hurts that part of the attack. So you definitely want to get the Clan Castle with this. You could... I choose not to take the Life Gem, and you could probably take an Apprentice Warden if you wanted with your Hogs, but with an Ice Block spell, you almost don't need it. I would rather have the Life or the Healing Tome and the Eternal Tome for the Hogs. I feel like that just does a little bit better than the Life Gem. I definitely probably could put an Apprentice Warden with this. You see the Hook Tower, I probably should have waited like half a second before I popped my King ability. But we do this part of the attack, we just want to get the CC out of the way, and then maybe the raged up Multi-Inferno core if we can. Those are going to be the most dangerous parts of the base for the Hogs. And then we're going to start our Hogs. Now, the trick with this part is you want to use your Healing spell and the Ice Block spell together, and then you want to use your Healing Tome and Eternal Tome together later on. I just want them to be full health as they're going through this multi-geared cannon and the bomb tower that was over here, and then we get a reset on the health of all of the Hogs. They split up just a little bit here, but I rage them when they get close to the Town Hall, and I still have my Eternal Tome, keep that in mind, which I'm going to use here. And then the Hogs are going to be invincible for 8 seconds or 9, whatever it is, and then they're going to be full health again because of the Healing Tome, right? And then we've got our Queen still alive on the back end, and then I'm trying to keep my Royal Champion alive with that extra invis that I didn't need to use. We've got the Hog Puppet and the Electro Boots with her. And then, as you can see, you definitely don't need an Apprentice Warden or the Life Gem with these Hogs. They are tanky enough now with the Ice Block spell and that Healing spell that you don't necessarily need it. You could take it in if you wanted to and maybe take out 1 Yeti or something, but I feel like the funnel that you set for your Sui is more important than having a little bit of extra health on the Hogs. So that's going to be attack number 2. Let's go ahead and dive into attack number 1. All right, and then the strongest attack that has been affected by the buffs is definitely going to be Rocket Loon Fireball or some sort of Warden Charge, right? The Furnaces are really good too, and this is because of the buff to the healers. The healers heal the heroes more, and it gets even a little bit more insane, so let's go ahead and dive in and kind of show you guys what the thought process is behind that army. Perfect. So typically on any base, I will put my Warden down in a fairly safe area so that I can kind of look around for a little bit. If I can get value with the Flame Flinger anywhere, I will. I put an Archer there to make sure that the Flame Flinger is not going to be in range of the Archer Tower there, because I noticed the closest things are going to be the Expos to the Flame Flinger. So it's going to get 3 or 4 defenses, that's more than enough value for me. I am going to try and fireball the Fire Spitter here in the middle of the base, and because of that I'm using some Rocket Loons on the sides to make it so that I don't have to use as many invisibility spells when I get there. And then to make the Fireball much easier, I always ice block my Warden now. It seems like it just makes it so I have more time to prepare, look, make sure everything's invisible, and then we get the Fireball on that Fire Spitter there, and it is insane. It gets the Clan Castle most of the core. That's a really, really good Fireball. And then I want my Warden to head one direction and then my heroes to head the other direction. You'll actually see that one of the cloned queens actually drags my Warden to the left, which is kind of unfortunate, but it ends up working out. We put some Furnaces here to help with my Warden. I knew that my Warden wasn't going to be in any great danger before I launched the Fireball because of the Ice Block spell, so I didn't put the Furnaces down at the start, so I will do that now to kind of help him stay alive a little bit better. But yeah, you can see, didn't need to use anything to keep him alive there, and then he gets latched onto this queen over here, which is fine, I guess. I end up raging, and so I swag a rage here. And then we go through the middle of the base here. We get that Monolith down, and then the Fire Spitter ends up going down. You can actually see the Expo is actually in range of the Furnaces, which kind of sucks. But once one goes down, then it retargets, and then we get 2 of them that still get a lot of value. And the Furnaces on the right-hand side of the base are still getting really good value, too. And then we pop the Earthquake Boots and Spiky Ball to open up some of the walls as well as do damage. Plus, I think he's about ready to die anyway. And then we've got another Rage that we use just barely here to help keep everything alive with, or just to burst through this part of the base. And you will see we end up swagging a Rage and the Royal Champion as well as just a couple of cleanup troops. This attack definitely has the most potential of any in the game right now. It's definitely a little bit more difficult, but I think the Ice Block spell makes this attack much easier to do. And you'll see my Warden goes down here. I could have used the Royal Champion to keep the Warden alive, but I just wanted to swag. So these are going to be the top 3 armies with the other stuff. I think this army is better than Root Riders and Dragons. I think the Root Riders and Dragons are still probably better than the Hogs and the Dragon Riders. Dragon Riders might be easier than Root Riders, but the Root Riders definitely I still think are number 2. Dragons are probably number 3, and then the Hogs are probably a close 4th. I don't think they really dethrone or change anything, but these are going to be the best 3 armies affected by the buffs. Hopefully we see more of this kind of stuff in Legend League or Wars or CWL, because they definitely, all of these armies are very viable and very strong. But that will do it for this video. I'll see you guys next time.